a day and another load of climbing. So I am going to show you what I'm up to today. We're going to Pico, which is basically the top, the highest point of the island. I'm with Rich there, and Greg is behind me, just nipped to the loo. But I had a really good suggestion for a video. So basically what I would do if I was going to start cycling again, start climbing again, the things that I would do, or the tips that I would implement to make it, I guess, easier, more effective from the start. Because I don't know whether you saw in the last video, like when I started riding, I was like 100 kilos, I think I was over. So climbs weren't easy. And I have definitely learned some tips in the 10 years I've been riding to be able to get better at climbs. First tip, what's my first tip going to be?
Gearing.
Yeah! See, GRX. We didn't have GRX when I first started, but basically it's 4630. That's what you've got on yours, isn't it?
Right.
Just get low gearing. It makes the climbing so much easier. And I think you can get up to 36, 40 on the back. Basically, you can get really low geared. It's GRX. It's equivalent to like 105, so it's not mega expensive. And you can even just get the crank, so you don't even need to get like the whole group set. You can just get the crank and the rear mech and the front mech, I think. That we're both pretty fit and I still use it. I don't feel like you need to be.
Speak for yourself.
Greg is very, very fit. I do really like it just for climbing. I don't feel equally like I lose any of the top. Do you know, if you're going downhill, you want to go in the big ring. I don't feel like I'm like ever missing a gear either. So yeah, it's 46 with the big cog, 30 in the little one. So basically the smaller the front one means it's going to be easier to spin. Because I never knew what even that meant at the start. I was like, what's 4630 mean?
Depends if you're trying to hang on to Rich's chain gang or not.
You had that one before? Why
like
spicy salty? Are you having it now?
Is that chili flakes?
I think so. It's not very spicy.
Can you break?
Next tip, always have food with you and eat regularly. If you are climbing a lot, you are burning a lot more calories and just using a lot more fuel, so just make sure you're topping that up. I generally try and have a date like every 30 minutes or so, but just take whatever food you want. You don't need to have specific cycling stuff, just take whatever you like to eat. I just really like dates because they're just very easy to carry and nice and tasty. Find your local climb and then just ride that climb so much all the time. That's what I did with Duff Stones, and I think that really helps getting you used to being on climbs. So I would say a climb maybe between 5 and 30 minutes is ideal, and try and get one that's not too far away. You don't want one that's like a 2-hour ride away, because it just means you won't do it as much. I mean, if it is, go and ride and build up the distance, but definitely just go back on that climb and just ride it and get used to being on a climb and try and improve your time. That's what I did. I think I did Duff Stones like, God, I don't know how many times. I did it pretty much every week, just constantly. My goal on that was to get the QOM, and then I did eventually. I think it took me 5 years to get the QOM, but I did it. It's consistency. That's what you want to get better at climbing, is just consistency, and you have to go and ride them. And for me, because I didn't want to go out and do like big days like this, having one climb and just keep absolutely just up and down, I just think that's one of the best things that you can do. So now we are probably about 60k in, we've done about 2,000 meters. Probably, how far do you think we are from Pico? I don't even think I've told you that. We're going to the top of the island today.
Yeah,
Maybe 30k? 30k. All going up.
Vote for GCN? No, it's not in Biggie Smalls.
Stop it! We are now at the top of Pico Nieves. And if you look, that in the distance, it's Tenerife. Right, the next tip, and it's very poignant because we're now at the top of Gran Canaria, and the tip is to have a goal. So one of my first ever goals when I first started cycling was to be able to get to the highest point of Thailand, which is a mountain called Doi Inthanon. It's 40k. I will leave the video below to when we went and did it. But having that goal, it just made me want to go out and climb more, because I was like, right, I've got this 40k climb to do. It's going to be really tough. And it's actually a 200k ride, like there and back from Chiang Mai, where we stayed. So it's like a big thing. But I think having a goal, but also not underestimating what you can do, because I think when I look back, I could do way more. That all the things I did, yes, they were hard, but I did them. And so I think don't underestimate what you can actually do, but have a goal, because there's nothing like having something in the diary like, okay, I'm doing this thing on this day, to like motivate you to get out and climb more. So whether that's just being able to get up, you know, depending on what level you're at, whether that's a sportive, like a hilly like event, whether it's a hilly audax, whether it's just actually just physically getting to the top of a climb near you that you are aiming towards. It doesn't have to be massive, but just having little goals to hit along the way is important. The route that I've done today is the best route that you can get up to Pico. So I think there's 3 different ways up. One way which is really steep, I wouldn't necessarily recommend that unless that's one of your goals. Very steep for a very long time. I'll leave a link to the video that I came and did last year of that. Or there's the regular way from Maspalomas up for Target, which is just, the road surface is shocking. I've got a video for that as well if you want to see that. And today the route has just been so smooth. There's a bit more climbing, but it's beautiful, like really beautiful roads, really nice views, just the best way of doing it. So if you want to go and steal that on my straw bar, I'll leave a link to it below. Also, there's a little shop up here if you want to get something to eat or drink when you've made it to the top. That's my first goal I had, was to get to Doi Inthanon and back. And it was with you.
That wasn't the first time you done it, was it?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yes.
I thought you'd done it before that.
Last tip, and this is a big one. Just be so patient and nice to yourself, because it takes so long to, I don't want to put you off, but it does. It just doesn't happen overnight. You just have to be consistent. And then the reward of it will be conquering, I say conquering, it sounds like really dramatic, but it is, doing a climb that you never thought you'd be able to do. And for me that was Hard Knot. I will leave the link to that video as well, because it's the most, it's just the most rewarding thing. And I think that's why I don't love the flat, because I feel like with climbs you get the reward of the actual getting to the summit, but then also the views. I would show you this view, but it's just a concrete factory. But it is a beautiful place. So if you have any other tips that you would like to share to your fellow riders who are wanting to get better at climbing, leave in the comments. I'm actually going to be doing an even bigger climbing day in 2 days, and I'm going to give you a full detailed, not commentary, but just basically how I pace the whole day, because it's going to be a big one. I'll give you a little clue. It's basically the lap, that's not a clue, I'm just going to tell you. It's basically the lap of the whole of Gran Canaria. It is a monster. So, I'm going to go. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next video. Bye! Right, so next tip. And it's actually very poignant, because we are now at the top of and have like a cheerleader. That's quite helpful too. That was like the most quiet clap.
Ho!
Oh.